All right, well, I'm going to do a voiceover on this because the chainsaw was kind of loud. And so I'm going to leave the volume on so you can hear it working, but I think the voiceover will be fine, or I'll have to turn the volume down a little bit. So this is just kind of like a part two of what I was talking about with this 10-inch chainsaw from Bauer. It actually exceeds what I was thinking it would do because I have the 10-inch, or I think it's smaller, pole saw. This thing just kind of has a little bit faster RPM, and it's got a lot of torque. So we had a branch, obviously, this morning when we woke up in the backyard. Thank you, branch tree. This is what I call a devil tree because of those thorns. But I think it's a black locust or something like that. If any of you know, let me know. But I've always just called it the devil tree. It's a beautiful tree, but it gets these huge pods, which I think you can see on that branch I just hauled away. And they fall down, so we get about a month and a half of the mesquite beans falling down. And then this thing starts doing its shit show. But last night when we went to bed, took the dog outside to go to the restroom and stuff, and it wasn't there. Wake up this morning before I've even had my first cup of coffee, and my wife's like, "Oh shit, look at that." So I look out and it's like, "Oh, fucking great." So that was part of my morning. Actually, it only took me about an hour, and most of the time was spent just walking out that gate in the background next to the guest house or casita. You can kind of see those two poles sticking up back there. And that's a gate that goes out into the alley. And then that property back there a ways where the mesquite trees are is the gas company. And since they never clean it up, we just throw shit in there. And a lot of the people in the neighborhood come and they'll, because we're always cutting a lot of mesquites and tamaracks and wood like this. So they'll come and kind of haul it away for their fireplaces and stuff. So the rest of it just sits there and decomposes. So it's really like probably a 500-600 foot long compost pile running on the back side of that alley that runs there. So there's our gate, and then the alley, and then that stuff. So this is making pretty good work out of these logs here. Chopping them up pretty quick. It's a new chain. It's kind of sharp, and I usually try not to cut into the grass because there are rocks from time to time. Well, there'll be a rock wherever my chainsaw lands, so kind of flip them over a little bit, and so it doesn't bind up. It's not that the chainsaw doesn't have the power. It's just I don't like tools that have sharp blades, binding up. So there's part two on the Bauer 10-inch chainsaw.